When was the last time you woke up actually feeling refreshed? If you're always exhausted, snapping at the people you care about, or constantly doubting yourself, I need you to listen closely. This isn't just normal stress. It might actually be burnout, and it's taking more from you than you realize. Burnout doesn't just happen to people who aren't strong enough. It happens to the ones who keep pushing, who won't slow down, who think they're fine, even when they're running on fumes. And if this sounds like you, I want you to know this isn't a problem that you can work your way out of. Burnout is like a slow leak in a tire. You probably don't notice it at first, but eventually you're gonna find yourself stranded. So today I'm gonna give you 3 signs that you're probably already on that path, and I promise that recognizing these signs now could be what saves you from a full breakdown later. If we're new to each other, I'm Tara. I'm a leadership coach and consultant specializing in burnout prevention, recovery, and work-life balance. I help seasoned leaders build burnout-resistant careers that flex with their lives. I'm completely passionate about helping you improve your relationship with work so that you can find the energy to do the things that you love and reconnect with the parts of you that burnout has pushed aside. Friend, you deserve to feel balanced and badass, and I'm here to help you get there. Be sure to hit subscribe and let's get you living your best life. All right, here's the first sign. You're tired all the time, and it doesn't matter how much rest you get, it doesn't help. We all get tired, but this is the kind of tired that even a full night's sleep just can't fix. You take a break, go to bed early, maybe even take a day off, but you still feel drained. It's a deep, all-encompassing fatigue that seeps into every part of your life. Burnout tiredness is different. You feel like you're running on empty, like someone hit the deplete button, and no amount of rest can refill the tank. You try to unwind, but even when you're not working, your mind is racing with the unfinished tasks, the things you should be doing, and a sense of guilt for not being productive. It's exhausting. And it doesn't just wear you down physically, it starts to weigh on your spirit, your motivation, even your identity. This level of exhaustion is your body's alarm bell, a signal saying enough. It's telling you that rest alone won't fix this because you're just carrying too much. When burnout has hit this level, recovery takes a bigger change, a shift in how you manage your work and your life. So if you're feeling this deep, unshakable fatigue, I want you to ask yourself, what am I still carrying that I don't need? What responsibilities, expectations, or extra commitments can I start to let go of? Because burnout is solved by letting go of what's draining you in the first place. All right, sign number 2 is that you don't feel like yourself anymore. This one is kind of painful because it hits at the core of who you are. When burnout takes over, it doesn't just drain your energy, it starts to drain you. You look in the mirror and it's like you don't even recognize the person staring back. The qualities that used to define you, your drive, your humor, your spark, they've faded. And in their place, you've got frustration, irritability, maybe even numbness. You snap at the people you love even when you don't mean to. Small things that never used to bother you now feel like the end of the world. It's as if your emotional reserves have been completely tapped out, leaving you with only fragments of the person you used to be. And the hardest part? You remember feeling differently. You remember loving what you do or feeling deeply connected to your life. But now it all feels flat, like going through the motions without any of the meaning. And then there's the numbness. Burnout doesn't always just look like stress or anger. Sometimes it just feels like nothing. The hobbies, interests, and moments that once brought you joy now feel like chores. You start skipping the activities you loved, going out, seeing friends, spending time on your passions, because it just feels like too much. Burnout has a way of robbing you of what used to make you, leaving you questioning where that person went. If you're feeling this way, you need to reconnect with what brings you meaning. It might be time to strip back all the things you're supposed to do and ask yourself, what would actually make me feel like myself again? Because you deserve to feel whole, to be fully you, and burnout doesn't get to take that away. And the third sign is that you're doubting yourself constantly. When burnout takes hold, it starts making you feel small. You question everything. Was that decision right? Did you say the wrong thing? Are you even capable anymore? It's like your mind goes on autopilot, fixated on every perceived flaw or mistake. You begin to interpret normal challenges as complete personal failures, and suddenly even those small setbacks feel like proof that you're not enough. Tasks that you used to handle without a second thought now feel daunting. And with every tiny misstep, that inner voice whispers, maybe you're not as good as you thought you were. Burnout has a way of twisting our thoughts until we can't tell the difference between being tired and feeling inadequate. It's really a cruel trick because you start to believe that these doubts mean something, that maybe you're slipping, that you're losing your edge. But that's burnout talking, not reality. Burnout feeds off of self-doubt because the more you question yourself, the more you keep pushing, thinking that if you just work harder, you'll somehow prove your worth. But burnout isn't a reflection of your ability. It's a signal that you've been carrying too much for too long. Your body and mind are simply maxed out. They're asking you to pause, to recalibrate, to recognize that worth isn't measured by how much you can do before breaking. So what if you could change this pattern? What if burnout wasn't something that you just had to push through? Think about this for a minute. What would it feel like to wake up refreshed, without that deep exhaustion that no amount of sleep seems to fix? Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing yourself again, not a version of you weighed down by frustration and irritability, but someone who's genuinely enjoying life. And what if you could go through your day without questioning every little decision, without that constant voice in your head whispering you're not enough? It's possible. These 3 signs aren't just symptoms, they're signals. Signals that it's time for something different. So now picture a different version of you. You're waking up with energy, not because you forced yourself to push through, but because you finally let go of what was draining you. You're able to show up for the people you care about without snapping, without feeling numb. Your relationships now feel meaningful again, and you're reconnecting with the activities that you used to love, the parts of yourself that burnout had buried. And that constant self-doubt, it's finally quieted. You're making decisions with confidence, knowing that your worth doesn't come from endless productivity or constant hustling. You're moving forward with clarity, understanding that you don't need to prove your value by doing more. This isn't about lowering your ambitions, it's about shifting how you see success so that it includes both your achievements and your well-being. One thing you can start doing right away is to give yourself a win that has nothing to do with work. Every day, set a goal that's just for you. Something small but meaningful, like reading a chapter of a book, going for a walk, or making dinner without rushing. When you do this, you're retraining your brain to find fulfillment outside of productivity. You're showing yourself that you're more than your to-do list. Over time, these small wins start to add up, helping you feel reconnected to yourself and reminding you that life is more than just getting things done. It's a reminder that success isn't about always doing more. It's about living in a way that feels true to you. So if you're ready to start building a life that's about more than just productivity, a life where you can feel balanced and badass, be sure to sign up for my weekly Badass Mail newsletter. Each week, I'm going to send you tips, insights, and reminders to help you shift away from burnout and step into a way of working that actually works for you. And remember, be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. Remember that you deserve a career that fuels you, not drains you. Let's make that happen together. I'll see you next week.